Hi everyone, this is Jody. I wanted to share today this cute, darn little book that I made real quick. It actually didn't take very long. It was over a few days for me, you know, because I do work, but, you know, it was an hour here, an hour there. So it was about maybe 2 to 3 hours to do this, and I just love it. So the purpose of this vintage altered journal was that I just purchased an Instapot. So I didn't want to go out and buy a Instant Pot, you know, Instapot cookbook, you know, filled with part of recipes that I wouldn't even use. So what I did is, you know, of course, I do watch a lot of YouTube videos, so I did YouTube, you know, some of my favorite Instant Pot YouTube video places, and so as I watched them, I wanted to be able to write the recipe down in a small little journal, cookbook-like journal, and, you know, write down the cooking times and stuff, because there isn't, the Instapot isn't usually really lengthy recipes. You know, usually there's just the cooking time and what goes in it, and that's it. That's, you know, that's the cool thing about Instapots. So I went to my bookshelf and I found, well, I was looking for something that has to do with cooking or in a kitchen or something like that for a cover. So I found this beautiful Junior Elf book. It's just a small one, and it's Mrs. Duck's Lovely Day, and it shows her cooking, or while she's making tea on an old vintage stove, and why not use this as a perfect cover for my Instapot journal. So what I did is I cut the covers off, and then I kind of made a flexible curved spine here. And then I did, this is actually just for decoration. This just goes through the middle of the book. Oops, right here. This just goes through the middle of the book. This is just some bias, vintage bias tape. Well, they call it right here. It's this bias tape single fold. And what I did is I excuse me, put it through the washer with a whole bunch of fabric softener, and it makes it really soft and pliable, and it has a little fray, like a little frayed edge on it. It's just really cute. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 signatures in here, and I just put this on for decoration, and I used like the baker's twine, because of course it's like cooking. It has to, you know, do with cooking and baking, so I chose to do that. And then also, so for this fabric, this is an old vintage really used cooking apron, and I thought it was really cute blue color to go with the book, and it almost matches this little teapot. And even down here, it shows you the drawstrings that use to cinch up the apron, because there was a part of it that has a drawstring. So I just put that on there. I covered up the little thing there, the book thing. So, and I just did a bow here. So this is really cute. It's very, very flexible, which is what I wanted because I need to write in it. So let's take a look at this book also. They are a 4 3/4 by 6.5 little books. So, and this is a 1955 book, and this is the end papers, and I just wanted to make it really, just really, you know, raw, generic, you know, nothing, you know, not a, I don't know what you want to call it. It's just a raw, organic style. I just threw it together. I really didn't think about it. So that's what I love, how it turned out, because I didn't sit there and, you know, search through tons of papers to try to find the perfect stuff. So The entire book story, the children's book story, is all intact. And so let's flip through here. So, because I wanted beautiful things to look at while I'm in my Instapot cookbook. So I kept it with a vintage. This is just a vintage cookbook page. This is a vintage recipe. So then I filled every other page or so with places where I can write. So here's some graph paper. Here is some, this is kind of out of a journal book, which you put into a journal, so it's, you know, it wasn't bound. So here's some line paper on this side. Here's some vintage stationery paper. Of course, lots of room to write. So I made a pocket here that I can tuck extra recipes in. And so this is just a vintage switching record that I got at a flea market. So it's recipes that I can tuck in there. Some more line paper, some graph paper. Here's the other side of the cookbook recipe. I don't know. It's, I think, maybe it's Betty Crocker. I'm not sure. Here's the storybook page, and so that was the first signature. And so the second one, and as you know, these types of books come with staples, so you have to change. You have to change the pages. So I basically have to, you know, tip in each of the pages and to make the book pages correctly all the way through. So, and I just, you know, just really, like I said, generically put this together. I wanted some pretty flowers in here as well. So this one I kind of made a tip down. So here's some pretty flowers. And then, so on the back of this was just like your book writing. So I did a page of some tea-dyed paper here. I can write a recipe. I can write another recipe here. And then of course I have this to write a recipe. Here's some vintage numbered paper. It's green. And so here I made another little pocket. This is a like a paper sack type pocket that I made. And I just put a little, couple little pads of paper that I tore off, you know, that has lots of lines for writing, and then, you know, a couple places to write some more recipes in there. Other page there. Here's the other side of the plant. And of course I didn't like the back, so I made, this is a name and address, like a filler page, refill page, so I made this into a spot to record a recipe. Aren't these, the storybook is so cool. I love it. It's so pretty. And I just added me some little tabs along the way so I can maybe section it off if I want, you know, for, you know, desserts or whatever. Pork and chicken. So this one here I flipped out, and this is an old train record as well. That's hummingbirds. Some more ledger paper. Here's another little pocket with another space to write a recipe. Here is just a paper clipped scrapbook paper that had, you know, picnic type stuff, food on it. Here's some owls that I like looking at. So here is a recipe card that I just put some watermelon washi on, flip it over. You can write a recipe here, I can write a recipe here. I mean, all these pages I can write on. This back. Again, the children's story. Here's my ribbon in the middle for my tie. Here's another, just a vintage book page. It's from a children's book. Recipe book. Yep. This looks children, but on this side it looks normal. So I don't remember what book I got this out of, but it just reminded me of the olden days. And here's some more stationery. These are all stationery papers. This is a journal page. Here's another pocket that I made here. Here is a pocket that I can stick a recipe card in. I did a little bit of sewing around it. Here's another one of those. Oh, this is the other side of that page. It's got a tea kettle there, measuring spoons, saltwater taffy. Isn't that pretty? And then I just put a page marker here. Here's some more grid paper, stationery, some more pretty flowers. This is an art drawing book. This is out of a journal book that I just cut down. I just like the dotted lines on it for writing. Here's just a middle signature that I didn't make a pocket with. I just decided to do this little vintage type book pages here. And then some more pretty flower pictures. This is some more stationery, some more tea-dyed paper, grid paper. And the story continues. This is all in order. This is just some, like a 6x6 pad that I just cut and put that in. There's another one of those pages I can write on. Here's a bird book page, and this one has, you know, it had like the, you know, about the birds. It was writing, so I added this writing space. This is an old 1936 the Clegg Company. I don't know. It's like a calendar page, so I added that in there. This is some really old grid paper. Here's another cookbook page. And this one I did dangles on the inside as well. The other side of the bird. Here's another pocket. And a pocket here for storing recipes. This is just a cute little book that I can keep by my end table, where if I'm watching YouTube videos, I can just write down, oh, this, and what time, and, you know, how long, and isn't that pretty? I just love this. Here's another pocket that I made. It's got a couple little cards in there, a card and the pad of paper. Get that in there. Here's a Betty Boop. I can write a recipe here. This is some Kool-Aid dyed paper that I did with a grid. And here is just another vintage recipe card. And some more of that, and there's the last page. So isn't that cute? I absolutely am in love with these little small books. So I just thought I would pop on the camera and show you this before I start writing in it and filling it up. And it's just so cute. Absolutely love it. So maybe, you know, you could do something like that too. I just wanted to share. All right. Thank you so much for joining me. All right. Have a good day. Bye-bye.